So nuclear fission obviously can be used for mind-bogglingly destruction, just horrendous destruction. But we can also use it to generate electricity. So controlled nuclear fission is used at nuclear power plants to generate electricity. It does so without any air pollution, without any greenhouse gases. So if the facility operates as planned, then there's much less contamination of the environment than by other means of generating electricity, like burning coal. So nuclear fission generates about 20% of U.S. electricity, up to 70% in some countries. In the United States, we are pretty fearful of nuclear anything, and so it tends to be opposed and not supported. If you have a pencil-sized cylinder of uranium, that could power a typical car for 20 years. The energy stored in that pencil-sized piece of uranium, right? Think of driving a car around for 20 years and never having to get gas. That's a lot of energy, right? A coal-burning power plant would use 2 million kilograms of fuel to generate the same power as 50 kilograms of fuel would generate in a nuclear power plant. So nuclear power is much more efficient than other sources of power, but it does come at a cost. So how does this work? Here's a picture, a photograph of a nuclear power plant, and here's an illustration of what's going on inside. So here we have the actual reaction. So this is the reactor, and we've got fuel rods that are enriched in uranium-235, and then we have control rods. The control rods are made out of carbon, and when you put those down in there, they will absorb some of the neutrons. You need to be able to put the brakes on this reaction so that the whole thing doesn't explode and get out of control. So by lowering carbon rods into the reactor, they will absorb the neutrons and slow down, or if you put them all the way down, you could stop the reaction. But it's self-sustaining. Once you get it going, it'll just keep going and going and going. It generates a lot of heat. We use the heat to heat water and create steam. The steam moves turbines, which is used to generate electricity. So the drawbacks of nuclear power are accidents, and those do happen. We've all heard about them. And then waste disposal. So it does generate radioactive waste, but the amount of waste is actually quite small compared to all the pollution and stuff that other forms of generating electricity produce. So, any questions about using fission to create electricity?
So is that only with uranium that it causes the...
I think uranium-235 is the only nuclide that has been used to generate electricity. You have to have enough of it, right, to sustain the reaction. Is it possible that you could do this with other nuclides? I'm sure it's possible. But could you get enough of the material to do it? Probably not. It's a good question.